And when it comes to De Blasio, the guy's a communist. Hey, that was out. Everybody knew. In New York, you have no excuse. This guy is going to make your life a living hell. For anybody who is working in New York and is too young to have lived through New York in the 1970s, do yourself a favor. Go and do some research on what it was like to live in New York City before Rudy Giuliani. During the 70s, when you had Jimmy Carter in, and nightmarish progressive policies that aren't even close to De Blasio. You wait. That city, you won't be able to travel to that city soon. He'll destroy it. New York will become the next Detroit if they don't stop it at some point. All right, go ahead. The rest.
I've spoken throughout this campaign about a tale of two cities. That inequality, that feeling of a few doing very well, while so many flip further behind.
Flip.
That is the defining challenge of our times.
No, it's not.
Because inequality in New York is not something that only threatens those who are struggling.
Stop. You know what the
this is such drivel.
I know, and it's not doesn't piss me off because it's so easy.
I can't believe they bought into it though.
I can. Pat.
They had Rudy Giuliani just a few years ago. Just a couple of years ago. How have they gone so far afield?
I contend that Rudy Giuliani was a strong man, and that's what New Yorkers like. They like a strong man.
A strong man in what way? A strong man,
somebody who's just going to take care. Somebody's going to take care of business.
Like a Muammar Gaddafi kind.
No, they like the fact that before him they couldn't walk down the street without getting shot, and after him they could.
Yeah. And he was just like, I'm going to take the bull by the horns. And this guy, that's all he's saying is, I'm going to take the bull by the horns. And that's what New Yorkers like, somebody who's going to take bull by the horns. But that leads me to my point. He says the defining argument, the defining question in our time is the inequality and who is going to make it fair for everybody. I don't think that's the defining argument of our time. I really don't. I think the defining argument of our time is, are we actually going to renew the promise without the slavery question? I keep going back to, in the 1820s, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, it's going to fail. Yes, it is. But when it does, trust the people because they'll see what we were trying to do and they will do it better. That means that you don't just restore the Constitution. You don't restore the principles. It means you got to go back in and see what they were doing and what they left out and what they had to compromise on. Well, they had to compromise on was slavery. Well, we don't have that compromise now. So we can actually go in and do it right this time. So the real defining argument of our day is this the era of the individual or not? Is the next 100 years or possibly 500 years even more free, where people are really allowed to explore and really allowed to take diverse paths and rule their own life and be able to say, you know what? I don't have your Harvard education. I educated myself, and look what I can do. Look what I can do. Look what I can create. Look at the network that I've just put together that everybody else said couldn't be done. Look at the device I made, whatever it is. But I, as an individual, can chart my own course. Or do we slip back farther than where we were and go back to really an idea? What is progressivism? Progressivism is an idea that was a new idea. Remember, freedom is the oldest idea. That's the oldest idea. Man's born free. Everybody knows it. Progressive idea, that's 110 years old, 120 years old, where people got together and said, how can we control man? That's a dusty idea. That doesn't work. They used to be able to do it because, well, you know, if we just regulate and it's, we've got to manage all this because people don't have access and they don't know what's going on. They do now. I don't need anything. I have access to people all around the world. So do you. I'm not the only one with a microphone. You have one now as well. All you have to do is figure out how to put it up on YouTube. YouTube videos can change the world. YouTube, the internet, can change your business. It's a different world. So are you're gonna grab the future of freedom, or are you going to have somebody else take it away from those who do because you don't want to? That's the question of our age. Do we free more people to dream and do, or do we enslave people for that same number of people at all times that refuses? They just refuse to do and make it easier for them.